Hello, I am Krewasky A, the Executive Director of the First Division Museum at Cantini Park here in Wheaton, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. It is April 2020, and I am in the lobby of the First Division Museum. My colleagues and I realize that we are living in a very challenging time in our nation's history and indeed throughout the globe. We are living in the COVID-19 pandemic. We have been working from home for the last several weeks, making sure that we do our part to help the healthcare professionals and the first responders. And of course, our part is to stay at home to help flatten that COVID-19 curve. And when we do go out, to make sure that we are wearing our mask as well as practicing extreme social distancing. And in fact, I am the only person on this lobby and gallery level today. So we are launching what we call Catch FDM 2020, where we are going to add to our already existing social media and virtual platforms more programs to bring military history, First Division history, and American history to you in your home, since you cannot come visit us. The Robert R. McCormick Research Center and Library, one of my colleagues has worked on these posts called Research 101, which gives you additional tips on how to conduct research at home in this stay-at-home environment. One of my colleagues has done some research on the small units of African American infantrymen who were attached and integrated in some infantry divisions during World War II. And the First ID was one of those infantry divisions that had some of those African American infantrymen. Moving on to our curatorial and collections department, every Monday you can tune in to what we are calling Artifact Highlight. And so they will be highlighting a different artifact every Monday. That a project that we were working on to launch later on this year, we're actually going to be able to launch it this month. Moving on to our programs and education department. Again, some awesome work coming out of that department. For example, this is the 75th anniversary of VE Day, so we have these hashtag VE Day 75, which are different vignettes leading up to our VE Day commemoration on 8 May, which is the 75th anniversary. We're going to have a large commemoration here at the park and at the museum on the 8th of May, and of course that's not going to happen, so it's going to be virtual. Another program that I am very excited about that is normally done in a physical setting is a military trivia night, so watch for that on April 30th, a military trivia night. We also have these community corner cases where some of our colleagues tell stories about one of their ancestors, generally a grandfather who served in the military. And then last but not least, just one I want to share, because those of us who are museum professionals and a lot of other professions know that we cannot do what we do without those great people who just want to volunteer their time. So every Friday we are going to be highlighting a different volunteer who help us achieve what we need to achieve at the First Division Museum. And so why am I here in front of the First in War Gallery? Because every Wednesday, so get used to this coat and get used to this shirt, because I'm going to film all of my vignettes today. We are going to launch a new piece of our museum. I was fortunate enough to become the executive director a year ago this month, and we revamped the mission and the vision statement to allow us to tell more inclusive stories. And so some of those interpretations literally just went up in February and March the 12th and the 13th, the same day that we shut our doors on the 13th. And then we were going to roll out two or one additional interpretations every month through August. So what I am going to do shortly is to go into the gallery and again bring some of those interpretations to you in a virtual way, and not just showing you some of the panels online, which we certainly could have done. But I am very excited about the mission that we do here and want to bring some of that to you at home. And so I would also like to end by saying, just like my team and I have put an awful lot into making sure we can bring more virtual programming to you, we are putting that same level of effort into studying what we need to in the healthcare professional arena, in the organizational arena, and working hand in glove with the leadership here on Cantini Park and the Robert R. McCormick Foundation to make sure that when we do open, we open in a safe and healthy manner so that you can have a great visit when you come back here to Cantini Park and certainly the First Division Museum. So in closing, I would like to give a huge thank you and shout out to our healthcare professionals. Thank you for what you are doing for us.